What's up everybody, it's Ree or Rebel Inks Art here again with today's character design challenge. Today's is a little bit of a quick one. As I mentioned in Wednesday's video, I've got a lot of stuff I need to get done and a lot of deadlines, but we're just doing a nice, fast, fun little Snow Centaur. For this I knew immediately I wanted to do a reindeer-inspired centaur, and I had a lot of fun messing around with her design. If you guys are interested though on the topic of getting prints and stuff done for my art show, I am going to most likely be doing a stream here in about an hour or two of me working on my prints here on YouTube, so if you guys want to jump in on that, it's probably going to be a ton of fun. I probably shouldn't say probably, it's definitely going to be a ton of fun, and I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you guys while I get my work done. So if you're interested in that, just keep an eye on my channel. But yeah, heading into this design, I decided to give her a very kind of chunky wrapped up feeling, so I gave her the nice big scarf kind of covering her mouth, and then in order to parallel that, I also gave her some big chunky bangs covering up the top half of her face. So she felt just very bundled up and kind of mysterious a little bit. Heading in there, doing that cleaned up sketch, I decided to give her a nice warm knitted poncho, and then have her hands nice and gently in front of her before going on to the reindeer half of her body. This was the part that really gave me a run for my money. I've never been very good at drawing horses or horse-like creatures, and reindeers are, come to find out, no different in that field, and just getting the legs to look not awful was not the most fun challenge, but definitely a challenge. I don't know if the end result is anything to sneeze at, but it's certainly better than the first couple of attempts were, so at least I made some semblance of progress here. I think my favorite part of all of this, though, is how fluffy she turned out. I think she's very cute. She definitely feels like the kind of character who takes quite a bit of time to warm up to you, but once she likes you, she's like the best possible friend you could have. Gave her those nice fluffy reindeer ears, too. I messed up all kinds of words there. It's all good, though. I think one of my favorite parts about this were the horns, though. I always love an excuse to give characters horns, and reindeer horns are just so distinctive and beautiful. So nice and round. Coming in there with those hands. And then going through and doing all the different little bits of fluff on her body. One thing I had to spend a lot of time with was making sure I got all of my ends closed up, so when I selected the image like I normally do, that things didn't go inside the cracks. I ended up keeping her legs kind of simplistic just because it was the only way I felt it looked good. Every time I tried to put more detail in it, it ended up looking a little funky. So I guess that's an area I need to practice a bit more in, huh? And then going in there with those rough colors, and I accidentally forgot to unpause for that part, so we don't get to see too much of it. But I went with a green accent because I had asked Lindsay to pick a color, and she chose olive, so that was what I went with for it. Felt like it turned out kind of cool. It's a nice little, kind of warm, while still being a nice cool color palette. Feels like a little pop of greenage popping out from underneath the snow. And then going through and cleaning things up. And then going through here, I do the little different bits and pops of fur before adding a nice little airbrush over it to make it feel like the fur is blending together. Then adding a few more designs onto her little poncho. Nothing too difficult, just some little simple stripes before going in and starting on with the shading. All in all, there's nothing too complex about this design, but I definitely had a fun time doing it. I love the little dark spot on her nose. And then for this, I went with a green and a blue darker shade, and then lowered the opacity a little bit so you could still see the different patterns I did through the shading. And then going in and doing shading the regular way for the rest of the image. One thing I did just realize, though, is I forgot to color the line art. That's something I've been trying to do a little bit more, just because it adds a nice finished pop to it. But I was so caught up in all the different fur things that it was a little hard to remember everything else. Oh well. And then finishing that up by adding a nice little circle with some white sparkles behind it to look like very soft snow. And then with our white outline, we see that finished illustration. I think she's very cute. She feels like a very quiet, soft character. I feel like she gives great hugs though. So this is our character design challenge for the week. Again, it was a little bit of a fast one, just because I've got a lot on my to-do list, but I hope you guys enjoyed it all the same. If you want to try out your own aesthetic character, the generator I made for these videos is in the description below. Go ahead and click on that link, try it out yourself. I'd love to see your results. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep an eye out for that stream, and as always, I hope you have a great day. I hope you eat some great food, and I hope you make some great art. Bye-bye! I love you!